Alright, so this is day 2 stuff. Today we're going to be talking about products of polynomials. So what we're going to do is use polynomials and basically multiply them. Alright, so I'm actually doing laundry right now. It's in the dryer, so if you hear that noise, just disregard it. It's just the dryer, right? So let's get into this. When we're talking about multiplying polynomials, we're basically distributing, alright? So distribute the monomial to all the terms. That's the in the polynomial. And this polynomial that I'm writing right now is going to be in parentheses, alright? Most likely. So, for example, we have, I'm going to do this in green, 2x, 3x plus 1, alright? So we have a monomial outside, we have a polynomial inside the parentheses, alright? So just like before when we had the distributive property, all we did was we took this outside number and we multiplied it by everything inside, right? And so from the last chapter, this is technically what we're using to multiply, right? We're using the rules that we learned about the exponents to multiply. So I'm going to write all this out. This is 2x times 3x, right? Plus 2x times 1, all right? So again, from the last unit, we have x and x, they're the same base. We have an exponent of 1, or a degree of 1. So here, we're going to multiply these two, that's going to give us 6. We're going to add these two. Remember, if we're multiplying these, we're adding them. That's going to be x squared, right? And then this one, 2x times 1, well, that's just 2x, all right? Not that hard. Just be careful. If they don't have an exponent, remember it's a 1. So we're kind of like adding those two. Just don't forget that. All right, so FOIL. FOIL is a term used to when we're multiplying binomials, all right? So here we have FOIL. This is first, outer, inner, and then last, all right? I know you guys are like, what the hell does that mean? All right, let me show you an example. So here we have 2x plus 4, 3x minus 7, all right? So what we're doing, we're multiplying these two, and if we had one term out here, as in, if we only had the 4, right, all we would really do is just distribute that like that, and that's pretty straightforward, pretty simple, right? But the fact that we have a binomial here, 2 terms here, and a binomial over here, 2 terms over here, we got to do what is called the FOIL, all right? So here, we're taking the first 2 terms, and we're multiplying it. All right, so I'm going to do this times this, right? So let's write that down. 2x times 3x, right? And then we're taking the outer, so the outer 2, this one and this one. So we have plus 2x times negative 7, all right? So now we're taking the inner 2. So these are the 2 inside terms. So we have plus 4 times 3x. And then we're taking the last term. So this is the last term, this is the last term, and we're taking these two like that. All right, so plus 4 times negative 7. All right. So if you guys don't understand FOIL system, all you really have to do is take this first number, multiply the first, multiply the second, take the second number, multiply the first, multiply the second. All right. So we have this right here. All we got to do now is simplify. 2 times 3 is 6, all right? X times x is x squared, right? So plus 2x times negative 7, that's going to be negative 14, right? X times, well, there's no x, so we're just going to write x, all right? So plus 4 times 3, that's going to be 12x, and then plus 4 times negative 7, that's going to give us negative 28, all right? So one more step, we can combine the inner terms, these two middle ones, right? Negative 14 plus 12, and then we're going to rewrite the equation, or the polynomial, x squared minus 2x minus 28. All right, so if you guys see this, when we multiply binomials in these types of forms, you're always going to end up something like this, all right? Something squared, then an x by itself, and then the constant, all right? This is kind of like the standard form of the polynomial that you'll get when you do FOIL, all right? So try these bottom equations, these samples, and again, we're going to go over that in class, all right? The backside, you guys, this is just taking it a step further. What we're doing is we're taking trinomials and binomials and we're multiplying it. And again, all we have to do is distribute both, or I guess all terms, let's say, of the binomial to the trinomial. Alright, I know these are a lot of terms that you guys don't really use, but this is basically what it's saying. If we have a binomial, let's say 2x plus 3, and then we have a trinomial, that's 3 terms, remember, we have, let's say, 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. Alright, I know those are weird numbers, but all they're saying is distribute both or all the terms of the binomial. So we're distributing both of these to each term in the trinomial. So again, the FOIL, in this case, you can't really use the word FOIL, but we're using that technique. We're taking this first term and we're multiplying it by everything inside. So I'm going to do this in green, alright? So we have equals 2x times 3x squared, and then 2x times 2x, so plus 2x times 2x, and then 2x times 5, so it's 2x times 5, right? Then we're going to take 3, and we'll do this in blue. We're going to take 3 and multiply to each one. So the first one, 3 times that. So let's do plus 3 times 3x squared, 3 times 2x, so 3 times 2x, and then this 3 times 5, 3 times 5. And again, I'm writing this out so that you guys can kind of see what's going on, right? The top part, I'm going to do this in green again. The top part, I'm just going to simplify. So disregard this right now. I'm just doing this example. So 2 times 3 is 6. X times x squared is x to the third, right? We have an exponent of 1. We're going to add these two. That becomes 3. Plus 2 times 2 is 4. X times x is x squared, right? So I'm going to cross this out. We did that. We did that. 2x times 5, that's going to be 10x. So I did that. Then let's go to the blue ones. 3 times this whole thing, 3x squared, is going to be plus 9x squared. So we did that. Plus 3 times 2x is just going to be 6x. Done. The last one, 3 times 5, that's 15. Alright? So last step, I know it's long as hell, but the last step. We have 6x to the third. Do we see any 6x to the thirds here? No. So this one we can just safely write 6x to the third, right? We have 4x squared, and then there's another one right here. So I'm going to take these two, and then I'm going to combine it, right? Combine like terms. So that's going to be 13x squared. Then I'm going to take 10x and 6x. These are the same thing. So these two terms are the same. So that's plus 16x, and then 15, well, he's all alone, so we're just going to write 15. So this is your answer to when you multiply a binomial by a trinomial. Alright? So please write this down because I'm about to erase it and talk about these special cases. Alright? So a special case about multiplying polynomials is something like, is something like this. A plus b squared. Parentheses squared. Alright? Again, way back, you guys already know, like, if we had 3 squared, what that really means is we took this and we multiplied it by itself twice, right? So same thing, we're going to take this inside and we're going to multiply it twice. So a plus b times a plus b. Alright, so from here, we already have a tool that we use is called FOIL. We're going to take the first one, multiply that. So a times a is a squared, and I'm not going to write everything out this time, but just follow along. All right, so plus a times b is going to be ab, right? Then I'm going to do this one in green. B times a is going to be plus ba. B times b is plus b squared. So again, we can simplify these two. This is technically the same thing as in if I wrote this one ab, same way, right? So we have a squared plus we have 1 here, that's going to be 2ab plus b squared, and this is your answer. All right, so we have a couple of these down here. Try them, and again, if you guys try them and you guys understand it, then good. If you guys try them and you fail, that's also good. Write down the questions that you guys have. We'll go over that in class, and then we'll start the homework again. All right, so please write down all these notes. Write down the questions that you guys have. All right, and that's it for this video.